What's going on, YouTube? And welcome back to the Hollywood Rip Studio for episode Sweet 16 of the Hobby Headquarters. Apologies if I look a little haggard. I got home from the airport literally 30 minutes ago.
You look good.
Thank you. After a weekend of aggressive alpine skiing in Colorado, I wasn't the one skiing.
Not by you.
My wife was, though. But we did take a picture with a bald eagle. It was really cool.
It was beautiful.
We'll show it to you now. But thanks for joining us. As always, I'm Mr. Hollywood, and that's Joe Nasty to my right. The hobby, of course, never sleeps, and we are here to bring it to life for you guys, starting this week off with a topic that I think we need to talk about more, and it is the MLB debut patch versus the Bowman first autograph, Bowman first superfractor, whatever you want to call it. By the way, the MLS is also doing this now.
Go Galaxy.
And go Galaxy. MLS debut patches are now in Topps Chrome Soccer. Of course, all the rage right now is the Paul Skeens debut patch in Topps Update, which has not been found yet still.
He does MLS now, too?
Did I say MLS?
Yeah.
Oh, I meant MLS.
No. I'm saying you went straight from the MLS to Paul Skeens. Is like, I didn't know he played left back for Atlanta United.
Yeah, I went straight across. Straight across. But Paul Skeens' first Bowman Superfractor autograph has sold twice in the past 6 months. Uh-huh. I think once was like 120,000, the other time was like 80,000 or something. This Paul Skeens MLB debut patch will probably clear 200,000. I mean, the Pirates are offering $1 million worth of season tickets for the next 30 years.
Don't forget to sit next to Livy Dunn. Like a simp.
Yeah, exactly. Cannot forget that one.
No.
And she will probably be wearing some Viore that is very tight.
One can only hope. Like, I know it's sponsored, but like you can only hope on the how it's fitting.
Anyways, I think, first of all, I think this is really cool that debut patches are going to soccer. I think debut patches at this point need to go into everything. Like, I mean everything.
Yeah.
Because, especially for baseball, I think first Bowmans are cool, but it's like, they're pictures of these guys when they're like 17, 18, 19, like half the time in a totally different uniform than they actually end up being in as a true rookie.
Different organization.
Their autographs look like trash half the time because they don't know how to write at 18. A lot of them are still learning English at 18.
That's true.
I think debut patches could be the biggest rookie card available of any player, and I think it needs to go into every single sport stat. Like now, everyone needs to have a debut patch. What do you think of debut patches pertaining first to Bowman firsts, and then just as a whole, what we think, kind of how they stack up in the pecking order of cool cards you can get?
Yeah, in terms of like rookie stuff as well.
Yeah.
I mean, think about the Bowman first stuff. They couldn't even get Jackson Merrill's picture correct.
Yeah.
And I'll never let off that one.
Exactly.
Yeah, I'll take the debut patches every time. Could you imagine with all the Victor Wembanyama stuff if he had a debut patch card?
Yeah, wild.
Yeah, that'd be through the roof. I'm with you. I think that's actually a really clever idea. No matter the sport, could you imagine, and I know this is a relatively new idea, but like a Leo Messi Barcelona debut patch?
A Lamine Yamal debut patch?
Dude, a Lamine Yamal debut patch in today's era, yeah, that would be huge. He's only 19 and still has braces. I would take his braces band in a card.
Did you hear he just signed some sort of new buyout that's worth like over $1 billion?
Yeah, I mean, he's really good. But yeah, I'm always going to lean towards the side of things that are actually in the field of play. Mm-hmm. So if I know that patch, much like the cards that were in Bobby Witt's butt, for opening day.
The game-used card.
Yeah, game-used
whatever
card.
That means.
It was a hot day, so he fanned himself off with it also. I'm always going to lean towards the stuff that is actually there in the field of play that I can tangibly see on my TV or Jumbotron. I think that stuff's really cool, and I'm with you on that idea. You're a genius.
I mean, it wasn't me. It wasn't me.
No, but I think you're a genius that it should be different sports.
Well, I mean, clearly it already is. They're moving it to soccer.
More sports. Take the compliment.
Yeah, there you go. Well, I mean, it's a Topps thing, right?
Yeah.
Panini would never do this.
Panini? I don't know why they don't.
Panini's also losing all the licenses. So this will happen in all sports. I guarantee it.
Oh, I see. Is MLS a Topps entity?
Yes, sir.
There you go.
There you go. Moving to hobby story number 2, 2024 Bowman Draft. Every year, Bowman Draft or Bowman Chrome puts in some sort of crazy chase card to get people to buy this product. I think last year it was the whole Tom Brady Expos draft card, and he signed one of them. I think it was a gold one numbered to 50, and he wrote something like, he inscribed, if baseball doesn't work out, then there's always football or something.
I do remember that.
That card still has not been found yet.
Really?
Yeah, and it would be a very expensive card to pull. But what did they do for 2024? John Elway has officially signed his MLB rookie cards 43 years later.
Yeah.
That is correct, because in 1981, John Elway was drafted by the New York Yankees with the 52nd overall pick. Of course, he ended up playing football and did some pretty cool things playing football.
Got helicoptered.
Yeah, for those of you guys who are maybe too young to remember the John Elway era. When I was in Denver today and Friday, and right snap in the middle of the airport there, Elway's.
Yeah.
Great little restaurant. But look, this is exactly the same as the Tom Brady thing. I think the Tom Brady thing was way cooler, just because it's Tom Brady. But I also kind of like this because it's a little quirky.
Yeah.
Right? It's a little. We're not giving you necessarily only the guys that are coming in from the draft this year, but like we'll give you another thing to chase, and it just happens to be a 2-time Super Bowl champ. Mm-hmm. What do you think of these John Elway cards? We'll put a few pictures on the screen. Any thoughts on it?
First and foremost, bring back the Expos. I feel like I miss the Expos, but sometimes I don't. It's just an iconic logo and uniforms and so on and so forth. Vlad Guerrero and I don't know. I have mixed feelings about the Expos. Like I kind of like the Nationals as a franchise, but then it's like, at what cost? That's neither here nor there. My thing about Elway is that this is probably 20 years too late. 2-time Super Bowl champ in what, like 98, 99?
Yeah, maybe
very,
before that even.
Like that's very like, for me, those are my formative years of like growing up. Those are like the first Super Bowls I actually remember. Those Broncos Super Bowls versus the Packers and the Falcons. Everyone's different. We grew up in Los Angeles.
I think the first one I remember was Patriots Packers.
Yeah, the year before.
Yeah,
exactly. I don't remember that one really at all. So I just don't know if Elway has like the cachet now. Like Tom Brady still has cachet. Mm-hmm. He's back on TV.
Yeah.
My first thought after reading this and being like, John Elway, I don't know, man. I think right now it'd be kind of cooler to have a Kyler Murray version. Remember, I think he was a first-round draft pick by the A's. And such an A's move in that we know this guy's not going to sign with us. Let's use our first-round pick on him.
Let's draft him anyway.
Like, legit, I think that's why they did him. And we don't have to pay him. And then, I don't know if he actually got drafted, but like a Russell Wilson.
We don't have to pay him.
But I think that's what they did. Like, Russell Wilson showed up to spring trainings for teams as well. So
he did.
Something like, I don't know if he was actually drafted himself. Jameis played college baseball at Florida State. So there's a lot of other more relevant examples.
Russell Wilson, 24th overall pick in the Rule 5 draft.
Oh, there you go. I mean, that's not nothing. No. So I think there's guys you could do now that maybe would have a bit more gravity.
Yeah, I think so too. I think it's cool. I still think it's cool. It's a little quirky. What I'm not a fan of is the price of the boxes. Some of these Topps products are starting to get really crazy in terms of prices, which is not always the case. But I think as we inch closer to a Panini-less licensed world, Topps really is going to be able to charge whatever they want.
No competition.
Speaking of Topps, holiday advent calendars. And this is probably one... I think it's one of the cooler ideas.
I like this.
Personally. If you don't know what that is, new for 2024. It's a 24-day calendar. Has these little doors on it. Put a picture on your screen for you. You open one door a day, or if you're a degenerate, you just open all 24 at once. There's one pack in each of these doors. You are guaranteed 20 exclusive 5-card packs, one 3-card evergreen pack, which is sort of like a die-cut card, one original buyback pack, which is like a vintage pack. So you can get like a 1989 Topps pack or a 1990 Topps pack or something. And then 2 single foil buyback cards. I think they retailed at like $40, but they are selling on the secondary market for anywhere between $90 and $150 now. So I have a few issues with this product, and I also have a few things that I love. I'll start with what I love about it.
It's good. Start positive.
Yeah, let's start positive. This is a great product for kids.
Oh.
Or people who are just addicted to ripping packs and need to like rip a pack every day, otherwise they go crazy.
Must rip.
Yeah, must rip, must rip. It is an exclusive set that comes out. Holiday cards have been kind of exclusive sets that have come out for a while, and they have been sought after in the past. Now, what are my dislikes about this product? Can someone please explain to me why this calendar only has 24 days in it and not a full month?
I mean, I can.
Like, I mean, is it like I understand it's probably a space-saving thing.
No.
Well, then what is it?
I don't know if you're familiar.
Oh, 2024.
No. The
What is it?
25th day of December is kind of a relevant day.
Okay, I see what you're saying.
And then I think it's pronounced Christmas.
Maybe.
And then after that day, retail isn't necessarily as important.
Yeah, but there's a difference between saying 25 days of Christmas
But that's what
and an advent calendar.
I think, but that's what advent calendars are. Like, that's a leading up to Christmas thing.
Is it?
You said I would if you were also someone that would also rip them all up at the same time.
Maybe.
I always get those chocolate ones.
Yeah.
And those don't last a week because I rip them all the way through. Yeah. I think that only goes to 25. Also.
Well,
I
regardless.
know, it's a calendar.
Regardless of what an advent calendar means or the 25 days of Christmas means.
Oh, is that how you pronounce it?
I think we should just say, screw it, let's make this the full 31 days. And guess what? The other thing I don't like about this product being $150 or $125 on the secondary market is there's no autographs in this at all. Like,
that I get.
At all. And the checklist is really, really limited. There are some really cool players, obviously, and the vintage buyback, the vintage buyback packs, like the 89 Topps packs, and that's junk wax, right? That's like a $1 pack. And then the other buyback cards that are just stamped, those are like 2019, 2020, 2018, 2017 base cards. Like, I don't like the product in terms of what comes out of it. You know what I really want to see is I want to see a holiday advent calendar that is a full 31 days for December and has 31 autographs.
On one card.
No, not on one card. $3,100, 31 autographs, make it all relevant players, just like full send it, and let's go. Like the true Christmas present for the true hardcore gambling fans. Make like the big chases like Ohtani and Soto and Judge and all these big guys, and make the worst player like some of the bigger rookies or something. Like make it a crazy set.
Like Pete Crow Armstrong?
Like Pete Crow Armstrong. You hate Pete Crow Armstrong.
I don't.
But we need to move to our next hobby topic, and that is eBay. Because eBay listings will now include PSA population counts. So eBay will partner with PSA, and you'll be able to click a little button on the listing that gives you the population count of that particular graded card.
Nice.
Big time development. I like it a lot. I can't tell you how many times I've had to look up the population count of something to determine whether or not I kind of want it or not. Population counts are obviously important. The lower the pop count, usually the more valuable the card is.
Sure.
That is not the case with everyone buying PSA 10 Victor Wembanyama base rookie cards, because I think the population count's like 30,000.
Yeah, still sick though.
Yeah, still cool, but I cannot imagine them being worth a whole lot with population counts that high.
Yeah, that's fair.
I know you do a ton of buying sports cards on eBay.
I do.
And I know you would love and welcome this feature because you are the pop count king.
Yeah, they call me Mr. Popcorn because I'm always popping. I actually, every time I see you, I walk in the door, I'm like, What's popping?
Yeah, what's popping? What's the latest pop count update?
You've been popping lately?
Yeah.
Whenever I get my packages and the bubble wrap comes in, they just like keep that away from Jonas, or else we'll get popping. So that's me. I do think that's a brilliant development, though. Like
it's great.
Like it's actually really good fan service as well. Like that seems like it's something
Yeah.
that would take a lot of work, and it's done basically just so you have more information.
Yeah.
I will be frequenting eBay even more than I already do. The Pop Daddy's on his way.
Daddy.
Who loves pop chips. And is big on population control in a multitude of ways.
eBay and PSA have had a lot of good partnerships over the last couple years. This one's a big one. Of course, that whole authenticity guarantee was a big one where your card gets sent to PSA to get authenticated before it comes to you, so you know you're in fact getting something that's legitimate. But let's move now to our next hobby topic. Kind of 3 hobby topics. We'll start with baseball.
My notes went out the window with this one.
I have no notes either.
Yeah.
We literally have no... Yeah, we'll just talk about it.
Yeah, let's talk.
MLB free agency. I don't know if you guys heard, and maybe it's a coincidence that I am wearing this City Connect jersey for the New York Metropolitans because the Mets spent a whole lot of money tonight. It became official that Juan Soto will be making his way across the subway to Flushing Meadows.
Yeah, Queens.
To Queens. And become a member of the New York Mets for 15 years and $765 million. This news literally broke when I landed like 45 minutes ago.
It did.
So I haven't seen what the structure of the contract is. I don't know if there's any deferred money or not.
No, reportedly no. And in fact, there's elevator clauses that can take it above 800.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my God.
So for those of you who don't math, this works out to $51 million a year. Juan Soto will be paid $51 million a year by the Mets, which means he will go against the cap at $51 million a year. For those of you who are comparing this to Ohtani, because this did break Ohtani's total money value, it did not break the actual annualized value.
The AAV.
Including the deferrals from Ohtani's contract. But I have a really hard time believing that this contract... Juan Soto is an amazing baseball player, don't get me wrong.
An amazing hitter.
Yeah, he's an amazing hitter, don't get me wrong. But this, and we talked about it very briefly before we got on the air. This is such a Mets signing. This Juan Soto is, in my view, my opinion, the 3rd best hitter in baseball. He's the 3rd guy I'd want. Well, no. If it came down to it, 1 at bat, I can take anyone in baseball, I would probably take Juan Soto. I probably would.
For just a positive outcome?
I probably would.
I think so too.
But that being said, I think he's the 3rd best player in baseball. I still think Aaron Judge and Shohei Ohtani are better baseball players than Juan Soto.
I think that's fair. I think the voting bore that out too.
Yeah. So the Mets just spent $765 million. Meanwhile, their pitching rotation has absolutely fallen apart. They've lost Jose Quintana. They've lost Luis Severino.
Manaea's a free agent still.
They've lost, presumably, Sean Manaea. At this point, you're basically swapping Pete Alonso for
the time being.
For Juan Soto.
Yes.
Right? You have no rotation. You have no bullpen outside of Edwin Diaz. At this point, the Mets kind of just need to just sack up and spend $1 billion and go sign Corbin Burns.
Yeah.
Go sign Max Fried. Maybe even both of them. They might need to spend $1.2 billion. Because unless they get 2 pitchers of that sort of caliber, I am sorry, but this team is still so far behind, not just the Dodgers. This team is still so far behind, in my opinion, is still quite a ways behind the Braves, if the Braves are healthy.
Right, yeah.
And they are still, in my opinion, a little bit off of the Phillies. I know they did beat the Phillies, and that's kind of a, it's a 50-50, I'll give it to you. Yeah. But the Dodgers and the Braves are clearly better teams than the Mets, even with the Mets adding Juan Soto.
Yeah.
Do you have any thoughts on the Juan Soto to the Mets situation?
It's really interesting. There's a lot of different directions to go with this. First and foremost, no deferrals. Not only that, there was an opt-out that's being reported after the 5th year, as Bob Nightingale reports, just in case the deal is somehow undervalued. So he can opt out and go back into this whole charade. I think I made a lot of my points and a lot of our points pretty clear on him as a player and as a baseball player. Pretty clear, was it even just 2 weeks ago, maybe 3 weeks ago? So I'm going to go to what I think at the moment is the more interesting angle, because the best story is always in the losing clubhouse. Mm-hmm. And reportedly, the Yankees offered 1 more year, but $5 million less dollars.
Total.
Yes, 760 versus 765.
Over 16 years.
Yes, exactly. So I find it very funny that the New York Yankees, who just made it to the World Series, just got cucked by the noisy neighbors in Queens who don't really accomplish anything ever.
Over $5 million.
Over $5 million when they had a year of courtship, when they just made it to the World Series, and he made a great relationship in the lineup with Stanton and Judge. That's rich. On top of that, hey, there's 2 sides to the rivalry. I think the Red Sox were pretty confident he was going to come down to play it next to the Monster.
Yeah.
And once again, those Red Sox, much like the Giants up until yesterday, can't find anyone to seem to take their money.
Yeah, swing and a miss.
So I find that...
I mean, same with the Blue Jays, right?
Yeah, truly.
Swing and a miss.
At least that's a different, that's a weird situation. So I find that hilarious. Stevie Cohen went out there, he threw his wallet around. I'm sure... You know what this feels like as we're talking through it? Boris probably said, the Yankees have 760, and Cohen was probably like, here's 5 more. Because I don't think he was going to lose this battle. And
if it came down to this $5 million, I have to think that they were going like tit for tat by $5 million for like the past several days at least.
100%.
Because there's no other reason the Yankees would tap out over $5 million. Unless it was like, oh, we'll do 710, 715, 720, 725. Do you know what I mean?
I think so. I could totally see Scott Boras on the subway going back and forth.
But you see, I think this also highlights kind of the character. And I don't know Juan Soto. And I don't think there's not a whole lot on Juan Soto. And I don't know if that's a bad thing or a good thing. I've heard he's kind of a guy that just comes in, puts his headphones on, and doesn't really engage with a whole lot of
I have no idea.
Players in the clubhouse or whatever. But look, Juan Soto obviously and Scott Boras set out to set a contract record, which they did. Mm-hmm. But it's interesting, and it kind of rubs me the wrong way, that Juan Soto was unwilling to take any deferrals in order to make this team better around him. Sure, he probably assumes, oh, Steve Cohen's like the richest guy in baseball, and he'll surround me with what... Sure, I get that. I get that. Mm-hmm. But if Juan Soto had deferred, say... I'm not saying defer $680 million like Shohei Ohtani.
Sure, right.
If he had deferred $150 million of this...
So they could get Corbin Burns?
So that they could go get Corbin Burns and Max Fried?
Which they still could.
Which they could. They could. But the problem now is if they do go out and get Corbin Burns and Max Fried, and they do just go out and lose to the Dodgers and the Braves every year for the next 3 years, 4 years, this is going to be such a disastrous contract in terms of the luxury tax for the Mets, because the Mets don't make close to what the Dodgers make.
And they won't due to international money.
Yeah, exactly. And so this contract could massively backfire on both Stephen Cohen and the Mets and Juan Soto, because at this point, who knows if Juan Soto cares about whether he's winning or not? Clearly, right?
Yeah.
I mean, he went to probably the Red Sox were probably the worst team courting him.
Reportedly, yeah.
Reportedly, but this was probably the second worst team courting him. Look, maybe the Blue Jays.
Look, I mean, it's the team that just went to the NLCS and added a superstar.
Yeah, it is.
But I'm with you in that was 6 games in truly, but the Dodgers smashed them.
And the Dodgers weren't even healthy.
Right.
Like,
I'm with you.
I was not impressed by the Mets. I do not think the Mets roster, even with Juan Soto, is put together to win championships. I just don't.
Honestly, I can't even fathom, 2040. Like, the guy will be on this contract.
Yeah, 51
in 2040. That's crazy.
Maybe he'll have an escalator clause because he was undervalued too. We got to move on to a few other free agency signings. Michael Conforto signed with the Dodgers. I think it's actually a good fit.
Biggest outfielder deal of the day.
Yeah. 20 home run guy. Does not really hit for average anymore. I think he was like a 270 hitter with the Mets at one point.
Clear platoon situation.
A lot of injuries, but I think this is actually a good pickup. This is a good pickup for a Dodgers team that missed out on Juan Soto.
Did they? I think they were always just being
Nah, they were
leverage.
always there. But I think with Soto, they basically just said, like, we'll give you $600 million if you want to win like every year for the next 5 years. Right. Take it or leave it. Yeah, and he went for the money. Right. So let's see what else. Willy Adames, 7 years, $182 million, I think, to the Giants. Good to see Good to see someone go to the Giants. Keep in mind, living in Los Angeles, we don't like the Giants.
Loathe the Giants.
But that being said, I will say, I really enjoyed the days of Dodgers-Giants rivalry.
It's better than Padres.
Much more than Dodgers-Padres.
Yeah.
Dodgers-Padres is just like straight up violence. It's just like, it's like a turf war.
Dodgers-Giants is like a fencing match. Like, respectful, on guard, here we go, I would like to stab you now.
Yeah, exactly.
Dodgers-Padres is a rock fight.
Yeah, exactly. And that's kind of how I feel like Dodgers-Giants, exactly. It's kind of like, it's heated rivalry, but like, the Giants are, to me, are a classy organization. They do things the right way. They've always had players that do it the right way. Do I like them? No. But I do enjoy it more than the Padres. Any other free agency signings? Oh yeah, Luis Severino is going to play on a high school field in Sacramento for the A's. The A's spent more money on Luis Severino than they paid their entire payroll.
What the hell was that? Like, true.
You don't know what happened.
I actually, that makes no sense. And have you seen how the state of the Sacramento field is right now? It's lush and overgrown.
Yeah.
Oh my God. I actually don't understand that for him or them or whatever.
I don't either.
Again, they drafted Kyler Murray not to pay him.
Yeah, exactly. But we got to wrap things up, unfortunately, for this week's episode of the Hobby Headquarters. Hope you enjoyed the rundown. If you did, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe down below. It really helps us and supports the channel, so it is much appreciated. So until next time, I'm Mr. Hollywood. That's Joe Nasty. See you tomorrow on Hot in the Hobby. The boys are